Imagine a structure so immense, so meticulously built, that it stretches farther than the Great Wall of China. Yet, it has remained largely unknown to the wider world. Deep in the heart of West Africa, in what is now modern-day Nigeria, lay the Kingdom of Benin, a city of immense sophistication, culture, and political power. At the center of this thriving civilization stood the Great Walls of Benin, an extraordinary network of earthen fortifications, moats, gates, and embankments. These walls were not mere defenses against invaders. They were a testament to the ingenuity, discipline, and vision of the Benin people. As the sun rose over the dense tropical forests, the red earth walls glowed, winding endlessly across the landscape, forming a barrier that protected both the kingdom and its way of life. Imagine flying above the city, the walls stretching for hundreds of kilometers, cutting through forests, rivers, and savannas, enclosing villages, royal compounds, and bustling marketplaces. Within these walls, streets were meticulously planned, lined with homes, workshops, and temples, each reflecting the culture, hierarchy, and artistic sensibilities of the Benin people. The city was alive with movement. Children running through the streets, traders haggling over spices and ivory, bronze smiths shaping exquisite sculptures, and warriors training diligently for the kingdom's defense. Every corner of Benin City was infused with purpose and meaning, reflecting a society that understood the importance of order, design, and foresight. The walls themselves were both literal and symbolic, a physical manifestation of the kingdom's power, a protective embrace for its citizens, and a message to the world that Benin was a civilization to be reckoned with. And yet, despite its scale and brilliance, this story has often been overlooked in global history. While empires in Europe and Asia dominate textbooks, the achievements of Benin and its people remained largely unrecognized. Today, as we uncover this forgotten legacy, we begin to appreciate not only the walls themselves, the society that built them, a people whose ambitions rivaled those of any civilization in history, who built a city where governance, culture, and engineering coexisted in perfect harmony. This is the story of the Great Walls of Benin, an epic tale of human ingenuity, vision, and the enduring spirit of a kingdom that history almost forgot. As we journey through the walls, we will explore not only their scale, but the life they enclosed, the people, their culture, their rituals, and their daily triumphs and struggles. To truly understand why this structure remains one of the greatest feats of engineering in human history. The story of the Great Walls of Benin is also a story of vision, ambition, and extraordinary human effort. As the Benin Kingdom grew, its rulers recognized the need to protect their people and assert their authority. It was not enough to simply build houses and palaces. They needed fortifications that would endure for centuries. The Obas, the kings of Benin, envisioned walls that would not only defend the city, but also reflect the power, organization, and ingenuity of their civilization. And so, laborers began the monumental task of digging moats and piling earth to create towering embankments. Thousands of men, women, and even children participated in the work, using only rudimentary tools, baskets, wooden shovels, and sheer determination. Generations toiled under the supervision of the Oba, each worker aware that their efforts were part of something far greater than themselves. The construction was meticulous. Trenches, carved in precise patterns, gates positioned at strategic points, and walls shaped to blend with the natural landscape while maximizing defensive strength. It was a civilization working as one, with engineers, laborers, and leaders, all contributing to a project of immense scale. Over time, the walls expanded, eventually forming a network that encircled the city and its surrounding villages, stretching hundreds of kilometers in total. The walls were more than a defense system. They became a symbol of the kingdom's intelligence, planning, and collective will. They demonstrated how human societies could achieve extraordinary feats without modern machinery, relying solely on coordination, vision, and determination. Even today, the remnants of these walls inspire awe, reminding us of what people can accomplish when they unite for a common purpose, building a legacy that would last for centuries. The story of their construction tells us not only about the physical effort required, but also about the organization, governance, and culture of a kingdom that placed extraordinary value on foresight, discipline, and the protection of its people. At its height, the Great Walls of Benin were more than fortifications. They were the lifeblood of a thriving civilization. From above, the walls stretched endlessly, cutting through forests and savannas, enclosing a city alive with trade, art, and governance. Inside, the streets were bustling with activity. Markets overflowed with spices, ivory, cloth, and handcrafted goods, while bronze smiths worked tirelessly, creating sculptures that remain unmatched in artistry and detail. Warriors patrolled the walls and city streets, ever vigilant, ensuring the safety of the citizens and the Oba's palace. Life inside the walls was governed by structure and order, but it was also vibrant with culture. Festivals brought music, dance, and colorful displays of tradition to the city squares. Royal ceremonies reflected the kingdom's hierarchy, while ordinary citizens carried on with their work, maintaining the rhythm of daily life. Trade routes brought visitors and merchants from distant lands, allowing Benin to flourish economically and culturally. The walls themselves were a constant reminder of the kingdom's strength. They guided the city's growth, protected its inhabitants, and symbolized the unity and discipline of the people. Even today, we can imagine the sights and sounds, the smell of freshly fired clay, the rhythmic pounding of hammers on bronze, children laughing as they ran along the streets, and the deep, resonant drumbeats that marked ceremonies and announcements. The Great Walls of Benin were not just stone and earth. They were a stage for a civilization, encompassing governance, defense, arts, and everyday life. Through them, we see the pride, sophistication, and creativity of a people who built one of Africa's most remarkable cities. A city that still captures the imagination centuries later. Yet, even the greatest achievements are not immune to the forces of history. In 1897, the Kingdom of Benin faced a catastrophic invasion by British forces. The city, once vibrant and protected by its mighty walls, was attacked, burned, and looted. Palaces and homes were destroyed, and priceless artifacts, including the famed Benin bronzes, were carried off, scattered across the globe. The walls themselves, which had stood as a symbol of ingenuity, pride, and resilience for centuries, began to crumble, slowly succumbing to neglect and the relentless growth of the surrounding forests. And yet, even in ruin, their scale remains staggering, a testament to the vision and labor of generations who built them. Today, as overgrown mounds stretch across the landscape, we are reminded of the kingdom's brilliance, the sophistication of its people, and the enduring legacy of a civilization that the world nearly forgot. Scholars, historians, and travelers who encounter these walls feel the weight of history, the echoes of a society that combined engineering, culture, and governance in a way few others ever have. The story of the Great Walls of Benin is not just one of destruction, but also of survival, memory, and the power of human creativity. It reminds us that even when empires fall and cities are lost, the achievements of the people endure, whispering their stories across time. And as we reflect on these walls, we honor the ingenuity, courage, and spirit of the Benin people. To uncover more untold stories of Africa's greatness, follow Untold Africa.tv, where the history they almost erased comes alive again